So from the 1st of July, once you have completed your application in eVision, you will get the Apply Now button that will take you through to the entrance scholarships. This first page provides you with an overview of the different scholarships and gives you the reminders of the closing dates and the time in which you need to submit your application. When you're ready, you can click the Continue button. Along the top is the different tabs that we'll be asking you questions in relation to our different scholarships. But to begin with, we capture some information in regards to your educational background. So the first question it asks is, in which year did you complete Year 12 at a New Zealand secondary school or equivalent? So please enter the appropriate year, and then you can enter information into what program of study you undertook. So for example, NCA, Cambridge. Once you've selected the option that's applicable to you, you also have the question to answer, what is the highest result that I have achieved in Year 12? You also have the option to say if you have been awarded any NZQA scholarships. You can choose what is applicable. If that's not applicable, just leave that answer unticked. And you also have the option to provide us with any information that have been relative to negative impact in your Year 12 study. Continuing on to the next section is the leadership questions. So you have the option here if you wish to be considered for such scholarships. And then we ask questions if you have had any particular leadership roles that apply within school or within the community. We also ask you to provide statements in relation to these. So you can tick as many that are appropriate to your situation, or if you have no particular leadership roles at the school, you can also choose the last option. So in this case, we'll say Deputy Head Student. Again, for community roles, you can select as many as applicable, or if you haven't had any particular roles in the community, there's the last option. So for example here, we'll say that we're a chair of a community group, and then we ask you to provide statements in relation to your leadership. As you can see that there is a limit of 200 characters, and as you go through and write in your answers, the boxes on the right start to tell you how many characters are left. So please fill in your examples as applicable to you. If you're attending secondary school in the last 2 years, your school may be also asked to provide comment in relation to your leadership experience. If we save and continue to the next section, this is in relation to academic achievements that you have undertaken. So again, you are asked if you wish to provide more information. You are asked to give details about anything other than your Year 12 academic results that we might receive. So for example, you may have attended different science camps or different fairs. Please just put in the examples that are appropriate to your situation. The next section is sporting and cultural. Again, you're asked if you wish to be considered for such scholarships, and there's a drop-down list that allows you to list your highest performance activity. If your activity is not included in this list, there is an option to select other, but as you can see, it is quite a comprehensive list of activities. So please check through to see if your activity is there before selecting other. It includes both sporting and cultural activities, so please choose which is appropriate to you. And you can give your statements as in examples in relation to that activity. Once you've given your answers, again, there's a 200-word limit. You can answer the question whether you intend to continue to participate in your performance activity while at Otago. There is no compulsion that you have to, but it is good to know for our records. Moving on to the next section, we ask if you've participated in any extracurricular activities while at school. This could be, for example, the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. And again, you're asked if you wish to provide more information in relation to this and can give up to 3 examples. The next section is in relation to the Māori entrance scholarships. To begin with, you're asked if you wish to be considered for such scholarships, yes or no. You have the ability here, if you are of Māori ancestry, to apply for these scholarships, and you're asked to provide statements in relation to your experiences and personal and professional career aspirations, where you can put statements. The word limit within these boxes has been extended to allow you to provide more information. And we also ask that you provide the contact details of a referee who might be able to provide comment in relation to your responses that you have provided. This would normally have to be a third-party person, so not somebody who's directly related to you in the aspect of a parent or sibling. And we would ask that you provide the contact details and make sure that you speak with your referee so that they're aware that you have nominated them as somebody to comment in relation to your application. Once you're satisfied with this, you can save and continue and move on to the next question, which is the Pacific section, which is very similar to the Māori section. Again, do you wish to be considered for such scholarships? You're asked to provide your involvement with specific communities and what are your professional career aspirations. We ask that you provide the contact details for someone who can act as a referee to you. This person we would also ask is not a direct family member, but somebody who would be able to provide comment within the community in relation to your involvement within the Pacific group. Once you're satisfied with all the answers, you can save and continue to the next section, which is the financial circumstances section. Again, you're asked if you wish to be considered for such scholarships, and you're asked to provide us in regards to your financial circumstances. We ask that you sort of provide as much information as you can within a general context of what your circumstances are and the impact and opportunity that the scholarship will allow you to have. For this particular section, we do ask that the contact referee is a parent or caregiver who can give direct contact in relation to your financial circumstances of your family. It doesn't have to be a third party, as they don't necessarily have to be involved with knowing what your financial circumstances of your family is. So a parent or caregiver is the best person to provide a comment in this relationship. We also ask any questions in relation to work and if you are eligible for a family community services card. So please answer as appropriate, that you're aware of the situation, and you can save and continue on to the next section, which brings us to family circumstances. Again, do you wish to be considered for such scholarships? You can provide as much information as you can in relation to your family. This could be, for example, whether you're a refugee or whether you've had other family members attend the university. So you may be the first in your family to attend the university. So please tell us this information because it's worth taking into consideration when we assess the entrance scholarships. Again, if this is not applicable to you, you can select these options, and we also ask that you would provide a non-family member who can be a reference in relation to providing information in regards to your family circumstances. Again, this would be a third-party verification, so somebody within the community group or somebody within the school who can provide the best comment in relation to your circumstances. The next section is the disability scholarship information. Again, you're asked if you wish to be considered for such scholarships, and you're given a text box to be able to provide information in relation to your disability, impairment or medical condition and the impact that it has had on your high school results and your access to university study. We also ask that you provide a non-family member who can discuss the impact of your disability, and you may choose to use the same referees as previously, but we would ask that it would be somebody who can give comment in relation to your study. For example, a doctor may confirm that you have a disability, but they may not be able to provide information in relation to your study. So please choose the appropriate person who can comment. Once you've gone through and answered that question, you get to the final section, which is the privacy statement and application submission. There are 4 boxes here for you to tick once you have gone through and read all the terms and conditions and information in relation to the scholarships. And once you're happy, you can tick all of those to submit your application. Upon submission, you should receive a message that advises that your application has been successfully submitted and reminds you that the applications will be considered after the 15th of August. You will also receive an alert on the front page of your eVision portal that confirms that it has also been successfully submitted. If you do not see these messages, please contact us to make sure that your application has gone through as expected.